In my garden, I've got this pear tree. I've always not liked my pear tree because I'm like, it never yields fruit. So then I kept saying to my gardener, I said, this is a really tree. And he's like, no, you don't understand. The reason it's a tree is because you planted it in the sun. The tree isn't the environment that it is in, it's So he took that pear tree, put it under another tree, flourished this year. It's so easy to think of ourselves as a pear tree going, oh, I don't fit in, you're in the wrong soil.
Yeah.
Remove yourself from that environment, go plant yourself somewhere else, and you'll fruit.
Get ready for the real talk, the grind, and the hustle. You're tuned into Nothing But Up, the podcast. Season 3, with your host,
Jamir Angelo.
Welcome to the podcast. It's Jamir Angelo, your host for Nothing But Up, the podcast. And I'm coming to you live from my simple home office here in the province of South Cotabato. This episode is presented to you by Funnel Expert PH, enabling business coaches, entrepreneurs, e-commerce stores, and real estate clients to scale their businesses through sales funnels. Visit our site at funnelexpertph.com to book a free consultation call. And also presented to you by White Coat, the content creation house. Crafting content for the world's most famous brands, organizations, and high-profile public figures. With offices in the UK and Singapore. Visit their site at whitecoat.tv to book a free discovery call. So guys, you're tuned in today to Season 3, Episode 8. And we're back at it again with another episode that hopefully should inspire you and you'd be able to get some nuggets from. Now guys, today's episode is very, very special to me. It's very personal, it's raw, because today we're talking about something that literally saved my life. And this podcast episode title is Environment is Everything. So if you're tuned in today and if you feel that you're stuck, if you feel that you're drained, or if you feel that you're lost, if life feels heavy right now, I promise you, it's not always you. A lot of times, it's the environment you're in. And look, a couple days ago, my story, Funnel Expert PH, was featured in the New York Weekly and CEO Times. So these are both top publications in the United States of America, and we finally got featured there. So I've been sitting for like a few weeks, holding off to my excitement until finally the article went live a few days ago. And that achievement wouldn't be made possible if I was still living in a rotten soil. And you see, people say your environment is more powerful than your willpower. And I learned it the hard way, guys, because, I used to believe I just needed discipline. I just needed motivation. I just needed to grind harder. But the truth is, you can't grow in a soil that's poisoned. You can't heal in the same place that hurt you. And today, I'm going to walk you through my story, the real unfiltered version, and show you why your environment shapes your identity, your decisions, your future, and most of all, your destiny. Okay? Because before funnels, guys, before, working with, clients in Hollywood, clients in the music industry, in the movie business, and, coaches that are very well known, before we even hit the 2 Comma Club recognition, and even before Funnel Expert PH, I was just a very simple kid from Sibunga, Cebu, who grew up around chaos. I grew up around people who didn't dream big, people who laughed at ambition, and I got pulled into things I shouldn't have touched, like drugs, bad habits, circles that kept me small. And I was like in an environment where every day someone was influencing you in the wrong direction. Not because they were evil, somehow, but because that's all they knew. And I was a product of that environment. And honestly, it almost literally killed me. I mean, drugs, peer pressure, bad choices, wrong people. And I became someone I didn't even recognize. It was a big problem. A problem for my family, for the people I know, relatives that are really close to me. And there's always that one moment in life where God gives you a wake-up call, where you open your eyes and say, if I don't freaking change something, this will be my life forever. And for me, it was realizing that people I called friends were actually the ones dragging me down. They weren't growing. They had no dreams. They didn't want anything bigger. They don't even want to listen to you about your dreams. And if I stayed, I'd become exactly like them. So I made one of the hardest decisions in my life. I walked away, literally walking away from drugs, from the late nights, from the toxic friendships, from the comfort zone that was killing me. And most people don't realize this, but when you start to grow, your old environment fights back. People say, gabag-o naman yung bata. Hambugiruha ninyo. Nakalimot naman ni siya. I mean, but the truth is, you're not changing. You're just becoming who you were meant to be. And I'm going to be very honest with you guys. Leaving that environment wasn't easy because I lost friends. I lost people I used to hang out with every day. I lost the noise, the distractions, and I faced silence for the very first time. And silence is scary because in silence, you face yourself. But it's also where transformation begins. Now, during that phase, I was working random jobs, from dancing on TV shows locally here in the Philippines, to fast food chains, to being a security guard, working in the BPO industry. Life was really humbling, but it was clean. I was free from the toxicity that used to literally choke me. And from there, I found digital marketing. So I entered funnels, the online world, and suddenly I saw hope for the very first time in a long, long time. Because in this world, people dreamed big. People talked about building something. People wanted growth. People wanted freedom. And that was the exact opposite environment of where I came from. And guys, when I met Macy, my wife, my partner, my best friend, when we started building Funnel Expert PH, that became my tribe, my safe place. And I call it a new environment. It was the first time in my life I felt supported, not judged, pushed, not pulled down, encouraged, not mocked. That's when I understood your environment doesn't just influence you, it actually builds you. And you know what's funny? The more I understood funnels, the more I understood life. Because funnels control flow, funnels control experience, funnels control behavior, funnels control direction. Your environment is the funnel of your life. So if you're surrounded by losers, you will lose. If you're surrounded by hustlers, you will hustle. And if you're surrounded by believers, you will believe. Because the input determines the output. And no amount of motivation fixes a toxic environment, guys. No amount of try harder fixes a broken circle. Now, let me break it down for you for a little bit here. So, why is environment everything? I mean, number one, your environment sets your standards, right? So, if everyone around you is broke, if everyone around you is negative, addicted, or lazy, that actually becomes normal. Number two, your environment shapes your identity. So you become who you hang around with. Every time, no exceptions. Number three, your environment dictates what you believe is possible. Because, before, I didn't know anyone earning 6 figures a month. Because I was just literally in a small space. Who really doesn't know about money? And now, I work with millionaires weekly. And guess what happened to my belief system? It actually expanded. And number four, your environment affects your energy. So toxic people will really drain you, guys. Purpose-driven people will fuel you. And lastly, number five, your environment predicts your future. Show me your circle, I'll show you your future. And guys, I mean, when I left the wrong environment I was in, everything began to bloom. Not overnight, of course, not magically, but gradually, and it was really powerful. I built my first online success. I built Funnel Expert PH. I built a team around me, and we made millions for clients. We hit massive milestones. I was featured on CBS, NBC, New York Weekly recently, CEO Times, two Comma Club awards, from zero to impact. And all because I stepped away from the people who were never meant to grow with me. So, how do you change your environment? So, let me just give you some practical steps, because inspiration without action is pretty useless, guys. You know that. So, number one, try to audit your circle first. So, try to look for who drains you, who inspires you, and the moment you identify that, cut the drains, grow the lifters. Number two, change your physical environment. I mean, just simply from your office, clean your room, fix your workspace, create a place where growth feels natural. Number three, a very tough, habit to break. Replacing old habits with empowering rituals. And what I mean by that is that you may like going to the gym, or offering prayers, reading, studying. Build yourself daily. Okay? Number four, try to join new communities. Like, find people who think big, people like, entrepreneurs, maybe churches, creators, mentorship programs or groups. Those are good things, or places that you'll be able to find a new community. Number five, be willing to lose people. Right? This is the hardest part. But remember, you're not losing friends, you're losing anchors. And what I mean by that is that although you may lose some, but you'd be able to gain some along your journey. People those type of people are just going to be with you throughout your growth and throughout your journey. And lastly, number six, stay consistent. This is a real secret, guys. Environment works through repetition and exposure. So try to stay in a high growth environment long enough, and your life will rise. All right. And guys, if there's one thing you take from today's episode, let it be this. Your environment is the fuel, the mentor, the influence, the energy, and the blueprint of your life. And as I've said previously, you can't grow in toxic soil. You can't win in a losing environment. And of course, you can't fly if you're surrounded by people who are committed to crawling. For Christ's sake, you owe it to yourself, to your future kids, to your future self, to choose an environment that allows you to rise. And you're just one environment away from becoming the highest version of yourself. And guys, that's a wrap for today's episode. Remember, no matter what challenges you may face, there's always a way to rise above and keep moving forward. With the right mindset and determination, nothing can hold you back. Nothing but up. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to subscribe to our podcast for more inspiring conversations like this. Listen to us on Spotify and on YouTube. Once again, guys, this is Jamir Angelo, the founder of Funnel Expert PH, and this is Nothing But Up the podcast. Peace, y'all.
Nothing But Up, the podcast season 3. This episode is brought to you by Funnel Expert PH, the world's leader in sales funnels and automations. Visit funnelexpertph.com to learn more. And also presented to you by White Coat, the content creation house, crafting content for the world's most famous brands, organizations, and high-profile public figures. Visit their website to learn more. See you on our next episode. Peace, y'all.